What worries you the most when you start teaching online? Some of us were worried about the technical issues and how to manage the technologies. Others may feel worried about their presence, like how they look. Do I look fat in front of the screen? Or the connection with the students in the virtual space. I myself feel worried about how to facilitate students' learning. Let me share with you my concerns and how I cope with them. When I teach online, I usually ask myself how I should inform students of their learning process in an online environment, and this process is usually challenging and tricky. On the one hand, individual students should know their progress without feeling pressured to compare with others. On the other hand, knowing overall performance of the whole class would energize students to do better and thus facilitate their learning in the process. We are pretty much familiar with how to manage these challenges in a face to face class, but here's what I usually do in my online teaching. First, I usually use our own learning management system or LMS to provide confidential feedback to individual students on their assignments. This usually works well in an asynchronous online teaching, and most LMS like Blackboard, Canvas, or Moodle usually offer these functions quite nicely. Second, during our synchronous Zoom session, I provide cohort feedback by emphasizing what are some of the good things I have seen in students' assignments in general, and that the whole class could use as a model. Sometimes specific students' names could be mentioned when I praise any students in particular, but that depends on the class culture. All in all, I find that technology somehow make our lives as an instructor even easier when providing feedback to students in order to facilitate their learning process. Just keep in mind that not meeting students face to face does not necessarily mean our feedback is not personal. In fact, we can humanize our feedback even better if we know how to manage the students' learning process effectively.